Hey guys, how are you? I'm going to show you how to make a Venn diagram in Word, how to use the snipping tool, and just a couple of other little things that you'll need to know in order to get your lessons done today. So the first thing I did here is I clicked Module 1 Computing Fundamentals on our website, which of course is baileyIC3.wikispaces.com. From there, we're on week 2, so we're going to do 4, 5, and 6 this week. Let's go ahead and start with number 5. Let me click on that and download, of course. Then I'm going to open the document. When I do, it tells me that there are input and output devices. Here's the definition of an input device. An input device is basically anything that you control or you adjust so that way you can actually do something on the computer. So if you can control what is happening on the computer, it's an input device. An output device is any display from the computer. So that could be something that's printed out, it could be something you project, it could be the monitor itself, it could be the speakers, and so on. So there's several different examples here for you. Then it says your task is to create a list of 10 items that receive input from the user, and then also create a list of 10 items that produce output from the computer. Create a Venn diagram in Microsoft Word or Paint in order to visualize your list. Each item must include a picture, and at least 3 items should overlap in the middle of the Venn diagram. That means you should have 7 items here, 3 in the middle, and then 7 on the end. So how do we create the Venn diagram? It's really simple. Go to File, New, Blank Document. First thing we want to do is turn our picture sideways. So I'm going to hit Page Layout, Orientation, Landscape. Now I want to be able to see the whole page, but I want it to be right up in my face. So let's go to View, Zoom, Whole Page. And there's the whole page right there in front of us. To make our Venn diagram, I'm going to Insert, then Shapes, and Circle. And I'm just going to draw the circle right across. So I'm going to get it about as big as possible so it fits. Then you'll notice up here it says Shape Fill. From there we click No Fill. And the point of that is so that way we can see everything that's inside the circle. Now that I have my circle made, I'm going to right click on the circle. And I'm going to copy it and paste another circle. And I'm going to take that circle there and just move it right across. So we're going to line them up here real nice and move it right over here. And there's my 2 circles. And it looks like I could even make them a little bigger, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull down here on the diagonals in order to make my circles just a little bit bigger, because I want to get 7 items in each one plus 3 in the middle. Alright, so now I have my circles created. I am going to hit enter a bunch of times to create another page. I'm going to take my 2 circles with a copy, and I'm going to hold control in order to be able to grab multiple circles at the same time. Copy, paste those right up here. So there's my 2 circles again. Now down here I'm going to use this as kind of like a workstation. So everything that I put in here I can delete and move as I see fit. So we've got our 2 circles up here still. I'm going to move them just to center them a little bit. There we go. And now the first thing I need to do is put in some input devices and output devices. So let's think of an input device real quick. I can think of the keyboard, I can think of the mouse, I can think of a microphone, and I'm sure there's several others too, right, that you can find on Google. So speaking of Google, let's go to Google and look up a keyboard. And when I Google keyboard, we'll go to images. We want one that has a white background. If it has a different color background, it's not going to display properly. So just pick the one that has a white background that you kind of like. And I'll go ahead and go with this one. I'm going to copy the image, go back into Word. I'm going to hit paste. And there's my picture right there, and I just need to label it. We can add a caption if you right-click, insert caption, and we're going to call this keyboard. You'll notice it'll say Figure 1 keyboard. Hit OK. And then from there, I'm going to click on where it says Figure 1 and just hit delete a couple of times. So I end up with a keyboard. And we're going to make this real nice and big. We'll go with 48 font. And there's my keyboard right there. Alright, one last little tiny trick. If you go to the Start menu, you can find the Snipping tool. If it's not there, just type SNIP for snip, and you'll see the Snipping tool come up. If you drag the Snipping tool down to your desktop, you can actually create a spot for it so you can use it all the time and make it really easy to find later on. So just drag it right down to our toolbar, and it's pinned there. Now when I press the Snipping tool, it's going to say New. What it's doing is taking a screenshot on my screen. So I'm going to drag a square, bringing both my keyboard and that together. I'm going to copy it by right-clicking and hitting copy. Then I'm going to, in my workspace, paste. And it's okay if it goes onto the next page like that. So I've got my keyboard. I am going to shrink it down a little bit. And you'll notice that I'm trying to move it, but it's not going anywhere. Well, the issue for that is because right now it's set so that this picture and this picture are right next to each other and actually touching each other. So I can't move one without affecting the other, and this one's actually preventing me from moving up or down. So the way to do that, to change it, right-click, go to Wrap Text, and then in front of text. When I put it in front, now this picture is actually on top of that one, which is good, because that means I can move this picture wherever I want, and it's on top of everything else. So I'll move it up here to my circle, which we're eventually going to call Input Devices. And there's my keyboard with its label right there in Input Devices. And we can put Input Devices right there real quick. And just bold that out so it's easy to see. And make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And like I said, you can move this wherever you like, make it big or small, totally up to you. So when you're done, you should have a total of 7 items here, 3 in the middle, and then 7 more over there.